Hello everybody, and welcome back to Jim's World. Yes, I've just, well, a little while ago, I got back from the MOT. I took Phyllis for an MOT, and I didn't realise it's been over 3 months since I last rode her. But yeah, all good. I started her up last night on the kickstart. She had a flat battery, and it idled fine. Idled fine. As soon as you touch the throttle, it'd die. And I thought, wow, that fuel's getting on a bit now. I mean, the fuel was probably older than three months, Jim. That makes sense. And I think what I did too, when I took the shite fuel out of the VFR, I think I put a little bit of it in Phyllis, because in theory, you know, Phyllis should run on just about anything. Turpentine. But it wasn't happy, so I succulated all the fuel out using my siphon, which is a really handy bit of kit, because quite often I'll swap fuel out of bikes and stuff like that. And anyway, I took the battery off last night, charged the battery, and it was flat. So I put it on this morning, fired it up. It run for a few minutes and then conked, which is pretty normal for Philly. There's not a choke on it. It's the throttle body, and what it does, the CDI artificially raises the idle for a little bit. You actually hear it, and then when it's warmed up a little bit, it lowers the idle. But the first initial touch of throttle, if you're very gentle with the throttle, it'll bog. It's almost like getting too much fuel, and it will go. It will go. I mean, stop. But if you give it a good bit of wrist action, it picks up and off she goes. And I've forgot. I mean, it's only 2 villages away, the MOT station, and it's like, as you'll see going around on the video, I had a whale of a time. I forgot just how much fun it is, because it's alright blopping around on the big stuff, like you're sat on the Aprilia at the moment and you've got the Spurtage behind us. News on Spurtage, I have ordered a fuel tap repair kit, so that will be done, and then that will be Spur pretty much sorted. The Aprilia, if you own a Pegaso, I've already asked one chap who owns one if his is running ever so slightly warmer now the weather's warmer, because I've noticed my fan comes on quite early. It's actually coming on at the correct temperature, which I think is about 85, 86 degrees Celsius. So it's coming on when it is. It's not overheated, never overheats, but it's just, I find it a little touch concerning, because it's only started doing it in the warmer weather. What I might do is just Google the symptoms of a failing water pump, because these are known to wear out their water pumps. It was a known issue. I don't think the repair kit is that much. So what I'm going to do is have a look for any obvious, leaks or anything like that, and then we'll just take it as is, and we'll go on from there. So that's about it really. Enjoy the Phyllis video. That's another year's ticket on her, so we'll be having some little Phyllis adventures. I've only actually done about 500 miles on her in a year, which shocked me actually, because I thought I'd used her the most out of all of them. But it turns out I think the Aprilia had the most mileage on it. I think the Aprilia and the ZZR were pretty much the same at about, I know the Aprilia did about 1200 miles. I had to think then, that was worrying. Did about 1200 miles, and I think Spurt did the same. I'll have to work it out. So yeah, so there you go. Enjoy the video. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. It all helps. And we'll see you on the next one. Tatty bye.